Currently, we are addicted to the network, to the data, to the Wi-Fi and everything. So, in such high uptime environments, there might be situations where things are going down.
State Electricity Board has decommissioned the power supply because of continuous rainfall. We were there at the office for more than 12 to 13 hours because everyone wants to reach to their near ones. Field team have to support us and we need to restore the services as soon as possible.
So, in such situations, what are the processes or what structured processes help to get out of that situation? We created this podcast because we kept seeing same thing again and again. People are trained, certified too, but when real situations come at work, incident, pressure, decisions, they still feel unsure and confused. So this podcast is to understand that gap. So today, in the very first episode of Mind the Gap, we are having the ITIL conversation beyond theory. Today, we are using telecom NOC operations as a lens. But this conversation is not limited to telecom. ITIL isn't something that is only used in IT teams. It is widely used in healthcare, education, telecom, finance, or even government environment. Basically, anywhere where services have to run reliably day after day. I'm talking to Mr. Kshitij today, someone who has spent over 20 years working in service operations and telecom NOC environments. He has worked in large, high uptime telecom setups, including environments like Reliance, Vodafone, Indus, where service availability, incident response, and coordination really matter. From an ITL perspective, he is not just foundation level certified. He is an ITL practitioner, qualified across multiple modules such as ITL for Foundation, CDS, DPI, MSF. But what's more important than this certification is how he has applied ITL on the ground, where live environments where decisions have real impact. Good morning, Kshitij. Welcome to Mind the Gap by Knowlathon.
Good morning, Shraddha. Thanks for inviting me. And I appreciate that we are going to talk on ITL, and it will be really useful for the listeners who wants to enhance their career in the ITL framework.
So before we get into the stories and technical part, I wanted to know that what is Telecom NOC, because till now I have heard that ITL is being used in IT systems, IT companies, but for the first time I have heard that ITL being used in Telecom NOC, which Telecom NOC concept is new to me.
Right. You said rightly, ITL word is Information Technology Infrastructure Library. Widely it is getting used in IT companies. You name the companies, the ITL framework is getting used, like in Infosys, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, TCS. All the IT companies, they are widely using this ITL framework. But apart from IT, there are non-IT companies where this framework is getting used nowadays. Telecom is one example, healthcare, school, education industries. There are many FMCGs. They are now using this framework because it really helps to enhance the day-to-day operations.
Okay.
Coming to your questions, what about Telecom NOC? NOC stands for Network Operation Center, or sometimes it is also called as Tower Operating Centers, which is commonly getting used by the extended partners of telecom service providers. NOC is a centralized hub which will manage, monitor, and maintain the subscribers, the service providers' network health, as well as the infrastructure. Here in Telecom NOC, round the clock services there, 365 days. Desk engineers or telecom engineers, they will work to maintain the service providers network, to manage the network, and availability has to be 100% available network, for which they will work around the clock.
Yeah. So as you explained, I understand that Telecom NOC is relevant to what networks we are currently using, like Jio, Airtel,
correct,
that, right?
Correct, exactly.
So they have to be up all the time because currently we are addicted to the network, to the data, to the Wi-Fi and everything. So in such high uptime environments, there might be situations where things are going down, something messes up big, and so with your 20 years of experience, can you explain one incident or something which stayed with you
Right.
till now?
Right. When I started my career, I will give you this example. Rather, this incident has later on turned into a disaster recovery. I guess in 2004, it was a flood-like situations in Maharashtra and Mumbai. Mumbai was majorly impacted. It was a huge rainfall, continuous for 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Rainfall is there, and it's really a challenging situation for all telecom service providers
Hmm.
to maintain their network,
Okay.
because the tower sites, cell sites, or the major sites, MSC kind of infrastructures, wherein were in flood-like situations. So it is very difficult for them to manage the entire infrastructure, because power crisis was there.
Hmm.
State electricity board has decommissioned the power supply because of continuous rainfall. Technicians or the field team, they are not able to reach to the tower
Okay.
site. That was a bigger challenge. Fiber breaks were there. All the tower sites are connected with the multiple fibers, and fiber breaks were there because the flood like situation. So it was a really challenging situation. At that time, the entire NOC team, which is a backend team, and
Hmm.
as well as the field team, which are
Okay.
the real heroes, they worked round the clock. And Reliance was the company. I mean, I do remember they are able to provide the sustainable network for all their clients.
Okay.
That was the only telecom subscriber at that time. More than 8 to 9 telecom service providers were there, and Reliance was able to maintain the network, because communication was very, very important nowadays and at that time as well, because
Yeah.
everyone wants to reach to their near ones, pass the message that they are safe and
Right.
they are somewhere. So that incident was very well handled by all telecom stalwarts, I can say. And I was the victim at that time. It was my first company, and that incident I have faced. But it was really a challenging and very, what you say, a lot of lessons learned at that time. Even we were there at the office for more than 12 to 13 hours, because we wanted to up our cell sites
Right.
at as soon as possible, or at the earliest. So that was our main motto, and we were following the instructions by the team leads, or the senior
Hmm.
leadership got involved, because it was a major incident,
Right.
rather disaster recovery, we can say. So that was one of the incident which I do remember
Yes,
very well.
definitely. Even if we can imagine now that what situation it might be, because any disaster happens, we want to reach to our loved ones
Correct,
first.
correct.
So, in such situations, what are the processes followed? Like you said that it converted into the disaster recovery.
Right.
So, what processes or what structured processes help to get out of that situation?
Right. So that was a story. Now, in day-to-day operations in Telecom NOC, there
Hmm.
are the incidents which can be P1, P2, P3. I mean, as per ITL,
Hmm.
this differs organization to organization. Organization decides their priority based on the impact. Some organizations may have the thumb rule, like more than 50 sites or more than 100 sites are down, then it will be treated as a P1 incident.
Okay.
So in case of P1 incident, usually it is called as a major incident management process. MIM process is getting involved. So I will give you an example of power grid failure.
Okay.
So state electricity board, they suddenly declared about the power disruptions at some area. So in that case, more than 100 towers or 100 cell sites are getting affected.
Hmm.
So in that situation, the P1 is getting declared, and so there are few of the tricks which everyone is following. Again, it is varies between company to company or organization to organization, but usually a rapid impact assessment is there. So
Hmm.
how many sites are getting affected, how quickly we can restore, which tower sites have the auxiliary arrangement, like additional battery backups or diesel generator supply is there,
Hmm.
whether the diesel availability is there, or that entire area is facing the challenges of diesel. So a rapid impact assessment is done usually by the backend engineers NOC team, as well as the field support is also there. Then the real-time collaboration, that is very important. So team need to sensitize, yes, this is a P1 incidents, we have to support to the field team have to support us, and we need to restore the services as soon as possible. So
Yes.
here in on NOC usually have the video walls or the geographical representations, wherein we can map the we can see the overall health of the tower cell sites, and we can prioritize KPIs according to that. Critical infrastructure need to be highlighted first. That is the third tact usually getting used. So
Okay.
rather than concentrating on the single cell sites which are very remote and subscribers dependency is not there,
Hmm.
then the entire concentration will be on the BSC sites, major sites, or the
Okay.
MSC sites, boosting
Mm-hmm.
stations rather, we can say. So entire concentration will be there, so that the central nerve system of the entire network will be live at that time. So that way we can do. And one more step is like a disaster recovery option. So that is the last option, wherein if entire region is filled, then the
Hmm.
shifting of traffic from that region to another region
Yes.
will be an option. And based on the permissions or emergency situations, by taking approvals,
Hmm.
we can go for the that disaster recovery option as well. So this is how the entire P1 incident or the major incident process is getting handled
Hmm.
usually in telecom telecom NOC environment.
Okay. So, based on my understanding, while deciding even it is a P1, P2 or which incident, human intervention is important, right?
Yes, very
Rather
much
than
important.
just process following, we have to check which is important, which is not. Like at times, process says a thing is important, but
Yes.
in situation like as you explained the example you have given for the flood situation, at that time, even if other process is important, that how to handle that flood situation in the Mumbai area, that was important, right?
Yeah.
So that decision still humans are taking. So what do you think? Processes are important or human judgment?
Yes, ITL says about practices. Now in V4, the processes approach is into practices.
Hmm.
Practices are very, very important.
Hmm.
But of course, human intervention has to be there.
Hmm.
To urgency and impact is very, very important to decide whether the incident is and what kind of incident it is. Although the AI is there,
Yes.
but human intervention has to be there. The desk engineers or the leads or management, they will decide about the same, and they will declare the incident accordingly, and accordingly all the practices, further practices needs to get followed.
Okay. So as you mentioned AI and ITIL. So currently in the V4 Foundation, as you mentioned, can you tell me the top five, or can you list the practices that are widely used and anyone in who has the ITL knowledge or who is been in the service management field, they should know these practices or they should know
Yes.
this processes.
Yeah, you must be aware that in ITL V4 there are 34 practices,
Yes.
general practices, service management practices, and technical
Yeah.
practices are there. So in these 34 practices, there are most commonly practices is it starts with service desk management
Hmm.
practices. Service desk management is a very common practice which is getting used in IT as well as the other industries, wherein the issues are getting registered there. The service desk is the first point of contact or the single point of contact for customers as well as the employees who
Hmm.
wants to register their complaint
Right.
or the incident.
Hmm.
Incident, I mean to say that nothing but whatever is working till now but got disrupted, that is an incident.
Hmm.
So single point of contact is service desk management practice, which is widely getting used. Then comes to incident management. Of course, the desk agent or service desk or the help desk, they are handling this process called incident management. Incident management practice is the practice where the focus is to restore the service as quickly as possible. That is the incident management practice. Reoccurring incidents, when problem is known, I mean, in incident management our focus is to restore the service
Right.
as quickly as possible, wherein in problem management we need to check why the incident was there, what was the reason behind that, what was the RCA reason,
Hmm.
root cause analysis. So that will get done in problem management. In fact, reoccurring incidents can be fixed in problem management practices. Change management practice, which is now called as change enablement practice. So
Hmm.
change enablement practices is whatever changes you wanted to do in your
Yes.
infrastructure, like for telecom sites, if we wanted to change some kind of setups like battery bank, we need to we need to install the new DG because old diesel generator is it's old one and we need to
Right.
replace with the new one. So we need to have the change process in IT industry. Similarly, the old switches, old servers, end of life, end of support,
Hmm.
these devices, if we wanted to change in a live network environment, then this change enablement process is getting used. Knowledge management is very important process. Usually it is most ignored process, but if used effectively, that
Hmm.
is one of the best practice, wherein the users or the customers, they can directly use the laid down knowledge documents, they can refer those documents and they can resolve themselves. So
Okay.
it is a very good knowledge management practices if used in a efficient manner. Then continual improvement is the very much required process, then only
Right.
the organization will grow. Then IT asset management, which is called as ITIM process, capacity management. So these are the several practices which are regularly getting used across the industries in ITL as well as the non-IT organizations as well.
Okay, great. So now these processes are there, these practices are there. Now with intervention of AI everywhere, like everyone is using Chat GPT for everything. So how ITIL or how IT service management has changed with intervention of AI?
Yeah, ITL is a framework. Despite of AI, this framework is not going to change. But of
Okay.
course, AI will be there. The some practices will
Hmm.
get automated. I
Okay.
will give you an example of service
Hmm.
desk practice only. So earlier the desk agents were there. They used to take all the calls manually. They will receive the telephone calls. They will talk with the employees or the customers, and they
Hmm.
will then further open the incidents.
Okay.
After AI intervention, this practices may get more smarter. There will be a less human intervention. There are chatbots are there.
Hmm.
Automatic ticket logging will be there. Impact analysis will be automatic. So AI is going to be there, and it is a need. I mean, it's an requirement. You must be remember, like in 2000 era, search engine Google is
Yes.
getting used widely. Nowadays, the complete focus is on
Chat
ChatGPT
GPT.
or the other tools.
Yes.
So AI has to be there so that work will get smarter enough and work will get efficient. Framework will remain same, but governance is very important, which will be done by human intervention.
Right.
Still, the humans are required to check how the process is working, whether it is in align with the framework or not. Of course, the other processes may get automated. Some automation has to be there.
Yes.
That is very much required, but humans are also equally important to run the process or to govern the process,
Yes,
I
as
would
you
say.
said, that governance is very much important.
Right.
With that, are there gonna be role changes? Like currently, as you said, desk manager or desk engineer is there to analyze manually what calls are coming, what are the incidents, and categorization maybe.
Right.
If that is automated with AI, uh, do we need? There might be a role who are on the governance part.
Yeah.
So desk engineers will be less required, and the governance people will be more required.
Uh,
What is your opinion about that?
Okay. In ITL framework, usually it is called as a shift left approach, wherein the whatever engineers or the L1 resolver teams are doing, that will be done by the another team. So
Okay.
this shift left approach is going to get used in this evolvement.
Okay.
Uh, I will say ITL has started since 1980.
Hmm.
ITL V1 was there, V1, V2, V3, V4. Now we are in V4. So
Right.
it's a continuous evolvement, and we have to align ourselves with that evolution. So that is equally important. Earlier, the practices was the main focus. Processes
Hmm.
was the main focus.
Right.
Now it has turned into practices.
Okay.
So we need to align ourselves with the evolvement, and there will be a certain role change, but framework will ultimately remain the same.
Okay. So who are the entry level or experienced also? If they are doubting that with this AI intervention, job market being so uncertain, what they need to do to be in this race of work?
I will say no need to worry. I mean, as AI has to be there, we need to align ourselves with the AI. AI will be the future. We need to, in fact, align ourselves to
Hmm.
learn about AI tactics. I mean, AI generative tools are there,
Hmm.
which we need to learn. There are a lot of chatbots. We need to use that, because unless and until we use that, we implement in our day-to-day practices, we will not come to know about the usage.
Right.
So no need to worry. Technology is I mean, progressively it is going at high level.
Yes.
In 2000 era also, we were in in the mindset that jobs will not be there, and the other fear factor was there, but it is not like that. You need to, if you align yourself with the industry standards or the current industries, then definitely there is no such fear factor will be there. But yes, learning is very very important. Whatever tools, whatever technologies are coming, we need to adopt that, we need to learn that, and then we can very well focus on the organization expectations or the technical expectations, overall technical expectations.
Okay. I hope this insight has given information to our listeners. So on this note, let's take a rapid fire round, and you just answer me what is the first thing comes to your mind.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So the first one is theory or real experience.
Real experience.
ITIL as a rule book or a mindset.
Mindset.
Following process blindly or knowing when to adapt.
Knowing when to adopt.
Calm under pressure or technical brilliance.
Technical brilliance.
One habit you wish you built earlier that will take you ahead.
I will say focus on value. ITL V4 is talking continuously about their 7 guiding principles.
Right.
So, focus on value is one principle which is very, very important. If you implement it, you will see the difference in your day to day activities also. I mean, if you use this principle, it will really helpful. So, focus on value is like why, what, was the, and from why, what to how, that is very important. If you deliver the organizational goal, but where the customer satisfaction is there, was it add some value into that? So
Hmm.
value co-creation is entirely taught, or the entirely the USP of the ITL V4.
Okay.
So focus on value is the prime focus, I mean, which I uh, everyone should adopt, I will say, in the ITL framework.
Right. So now, as you said that that value co-creation is important. To create value co-creation, one person has to be capable enough, and
Yes.
capability is built through certification or experience. What is your opinion on that?
Both are required.
Hmm.
Rather, certification is equally important along with the experience.
Right.
But experience will teach how we need to deal the situation. ITL will give all the theoretical terms,
Hmm.
all the book practices,
Hmm.
wherein you can learn lot of terms in ITL, but how to use it in your day-to-day operations or day-to-day activities, that is very important. That
Right.
we will come to know unless we practice it.
Yes.
So I will give you an example of the tools usage, ticketing tool usages, or the integrated softwares, or in alert management practice, we need to use the event management tools.
Hmm.
So one will understand that once they will use it, and once you use it, and you are, and back of the mind, if ITL principles are there, ITL certification, whatever you learnt will be there,
Hmm.
you will really enjoy that process.
Right.
Whatever you learnt, if same things will be there by if you are practicing in on day-to-day basis,
Hmm.
it will be more fun and interest will get created. And
Okay.
all the logics, whatever you learnt in the ITL books, or the foundation course, or the more modules, you will relate that, and you will really enjoy your work.
Okay, great. So, as our most of the listeners will be from the background where they want to pursue careers in the service management, so can you tell me the benefits of doing ITL for foundation?
Yeah, sure. So, as you know, ITL is globally accepted framework. It
Yes.
is universal framework. So, most of the companies, I mean, I will say 90% of Fortune 500 companies is using this ITL framework. So, uh, it's a huge scope for
Yes.
all. If you wish to do masters in that, it is really huge scope. Uh, then the employability, uh, as I said, multiple companies, and not only in IT sector, there are non-IT sectors
Right.
who have also started to use this practices or the ITL framework. So it is open for both on IT, non-IT sectors as well. Then the diverse path, which I will say, like if you are in handling the service desk management role now,
Hmm.
but after a few years,
Hmm.
if you wish to change your role in the change enablement practitioner, or in incident manager, or maybe a knowledge manager, problem management, so
Yes.
diverse path is open,
Right.
will be there. I mean, if you will follow these practices for more, or having a experience for more than 2 or 3 years, you can change your role based
Right.
on your experience and the knowledge you have. So that is added advantage of this. Once you will do the foundation is very basic to enter into the ITL framework. Once you will learn, then you do the other modules.
Right.
There are 8 to 9 modules, which if you will cross all these 9 modules, you will be at expert level.
Right.
And while learning these modules, you will come to know, oh, we are doing like this. That is
Hmm.
what this practice is very important. This is how we need to do, this is how we need to focus on values, this is how we need to co-create the values for customers. If SLA is achieved, that is okay, but what values we have delivered to the customers. So all those concepts you can correlate in your day-to-day practices once you learn everything on while you learn in your day-to-day practices.
Okay.
So this is
Yeah.
how it is beneficial for all newcomers who wants to pursue the career in IT service industry or non-IT industries as well.
Okay. How was the experience of going from ITL for foundation to the advanced modules?
Yes, when I did ITL V3, I did ITL V3 as well. Let me tell you that in 2013. So I was very new to
Hmm.
that. Then I did V4 Foundation as a refresher again, and I am doing the other modules as well.
Okay.
So initially it sounds very strange, like what is incident, what is service request, why it is getting used, and more or more we need to focus on the words, we need to remember the terminologies. But
Right.
once you start to practice, once it will come in your day-to-day operations,
Hmm.
then you can relate it very fast, and that
Right.
really helps me further. As I grow in my career, I have started myself as a desk engineer. I started to work in 24 by 7 environments in night shift, afternoon shifts, and then to become a team lead, and post that the service process owner, then process specialist, and finally to handle the global operations as well, to become a leader for that global team.
Right.
So so while handling these profiles, these modules have helped me a lot.
Right.
Each module will teach you, okay, this is the difference, how the stakeholders engagement is important.
Hmm.
Because once you grow up, you need to tackle with the multiple teams not only your team but the multiple stakeholders will be there. Your technical expertise is very important. So if you know the incident but you do not know how to deal with that incidents with the other team or the other resolver groups, then there is no use.
Right.
So for that matter, the other modules will certainly help. They will tell you how you need to fit your work in this framework, so to align the organizational benefit or to achieve the organization vision. So that will certainly help if we will learn the other modules as well.
Okay. So, throughout this journey of your experience or throughout the ITL foundation to the advanced module, one habit of yours, your habit which helped you learn smartly and adapt to the processes or implement that in your day-to-day work.
Yeah, first habit I must mention that I have developed a mindset wherein rather than completing tasks, how fruitful it was delivered to the customer.
Right.
That is very important. So usually, once you are used to with that processes, tasks are anyway going to get complete. But does it really help to the customers? What value you are adding into that? What output you are delivering by accomplishing your task? That is very important. So that mindset I have developed, and which is in align with the ITL guiding principle. So very important habit which I wish that listeners should adopt that, and they will definitely get the success by adopting this important act.
Coming to the training part, how does quality training or the quality of training impacts the implementation or any certification if you have done till now? How does the quality of training has impacted?
Yes, it certainly impacts, because while learning, I mean, you must be aware that after half an hour, our concentration goes somewhere else.
Right.
So it is usually observed with all human beings. So trainers or the training institutes should be in a such a way they have connect with the audience.
Hmm.
They wanted to deliver whatever they wanted to deliver. That should be precise enough. At least 90%, 80% adoption has to be there. Whatever you are going to deliver, that should get delivered. And very important is whatever we learn, it should get implemented.
Right.
Then only that training will be successful. And I guess Knowlathon is doing it precisely. They are along with the industry standards. They are throwing their training sessions in a such a way which are a cutting edge technology, which is required in the current market, or the organizations which required such kind of skill sets, high skill sets in the market. So they are, I mean, throwing the training sessions in a such a way that the audience will connect it fast and they can implement the same in their practical scenarios.
Now, I wanted to ask if just being ITL certified is important or able to implement what they have learned is important.
I will say both the processes are going parallelly hand to hand. So one must have the ITL certification, at least the foundation. If you will see the advertisement today's, I mean, a lot of IT companies or non-IT organizations as well, their basic criteria is to have foundation certificate. So once you crack that, you will come to know how to use it effectively in your day-to-day operations. And once you grow up, once you have the maturity in to work in that particular framework for 3 or 4 years, then you can probably learn the other modules as well.
Right.
So definitely certification is very very important, which will allow your entry point to work in MNCs or all the top notch industries. And your basic sense will also get developed. You then you can use that ITL all terminologies in your day-to-day practices. So both are equally important, and one should enhance their self. I mean, today also, despite of having 20 plus years of experience, I'm every day learning. I'm trying to learn new things in ITL. I wish V5 will be there, and I will learn that V5 course as well. So that will really help all the who wants to come in the ITL framework or ITL journey.
Right. That's make a lot of sense, because that's exactly what we wanted to capture with the mind the gap, as like how capability is different and just getting certified is different. As you precisely explained, that certification is important to prove that you have the ability, you
Correct.
can do it, and having the ability to actually perform that is also
Yes.
important. That
Yes.
you get with the quality of training, as
Yes.
we discussed. So with that, let's wrap up the session.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kshitij, for being here today and giving so much insights for our listeners as well as me. It was insightful session, and it was insightful discussion and conversation. So
Yes.
thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks Shraddha, and thanks to entire Knowlathon team to give me an opportunity to discuss this cutting edge technology about an ITL and day-to-day practices in the ITL framework. Thank you so much.
Yes. This conversation is not about opinions, it's about experience. That's all for this episode of the ITL Conversation Beyond Theory. And thank you for being part of this conversation. We will keep exploring what it takes to turn learning into capability. Till then, like, share, and subscribe to Mind the Gap for more episodes.